So I say, yes, people will watch her, and yes, she'll get the numbers high. Partly thank you to the media for this obsession, because now people are more interested. So you think you're putting her down, but you really are not putting her down. You're absolutely marketing her and advertising her. So thank you. Meanwhile, she's making money, and many of us are not. So, hey, go girl.
Lulu, I love you.
Lulu.
All right, let's slow this all the way down. Because what you just watched was not small. That moment was not just a caller. That moment was not just an opinion. That moment was not just daytime TV. That was the British media accidentally telling the truth on live television and laughing while doing it. A woman named Lulu called in, and with zero stress in her voice, zero defensiveness, and zero desperation, she dismantled a narrative that has taken the UK media years to construct. And she did it with laughter. That's important, because laughter is power. People who are losing don't laugh like that. People who are losing sound frantic, bitter, sharp-edged, and angry. Lulu sounded relaxed, amused, almost playful, like someone who already knew how this conversation was going to end. And she did. From the very first line, Lulu refused to play the media's favorite game, the one where Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is framed as controversial, divisive, or somehow failing. Instead, she reframed the entire conversation around one thing the media hates most: reality. She said, yes, people will watch her. Yes, she'll get the numbers. That alone is a confession the British media avoids at all costs. Because once you admit that people are watching, once you admit the numbers are there, the entire irrelevant narrative collapses. You cannot be irrelevant and profitable at the same time. You cannot be irrelevant and constantly discussed at the same time. You cannot be irrelevant and still living rent-free in an entire media ecosystem. And yet, the British media insists on trying. For years now, they have pushed the idea that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is somehow overexposed, while simultaneously ensuring she is never off-screen, off-air, or out of their mouths. That contradiction is not accidental. It's structural. They need her. They rely on her. They profit from her. And Lulu said that part out loud, with a smile. She thanked the media for their obsession. Now let's talk about that word, obsession. Because obsession is not journalism. Obsession is not accountability. Obsession is not critique. Obsession is fixation, and fixation is exactly what this has become. The British media does not cover Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. They orbit her. They circle her. They monitor her like she's a weather system they can't control. And Lulu didn't attack them for it. She did something much worse. She exposed it. She said, you think you're putting her down, but you're not. You're marketing her. You're advertising her. That line alone detonated an entire industry. Because once you understand that outrage fuels visibility, everything makes sense. The headlines, the hysteria, the constant concern, the performative exhaustion. It's all part of the same cycle. Provoke attention, harvest clicks, repeat. And Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is sitting at the center of that cycle, not because she demands it, but because she generates it. This is why the media sounds tired, not because they're exhausted by her, but because they're exhausted by the fact that she keeps winning despite their efforts. Then Lulu delivered the line that shifted the entire energy of the studio. Meanwhile, she's making money, and many of us are not. Let's sit with that. That wasn't cruelty. That wasn't mockery. That was reality knocking on the door. Because the British media wants this conversation to live in the realm of opinion. Lulu dragged it into the realm of outcomes, and outcomes are unforgiving. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is not hypothetically successful. She is demonstrably successful. Her influence moves markets. Her presence drives engagement. Her name sparks interest across continents. And every attempt to minimize that success only highlights how undeniable it actually is. This is why Marvin Harrison's reaction mattered so much. He didn't argue. He didn't interrupt. He didn't pivot to a talking point. He laughed. And then he said, "Lulu, I love you." That sentence was not cute. That sentence was not casual. That sentence was an admission. Because when a host abandons debate and moves straight to affection, it means the argument has collapsed. If there was a rebuttal, it would have come. If there was a counter-narrative, it would have been deployed. Instead, there was laughter. And laughter in that moment meant recognition. Recognition that Lulu wasn't wrong. Recognition that the audience could hear it too. Recognition that the mask slipped live on air. This is why moments like this are so powerful. Not because they're loud, but because they're undeniable. This didn't happen on Twitter. It didn't happen in a comment section. It didn't happen in a pro-Meghan space. It happened on UK daytime television, the same space that has spent years amplifying suspicion, hostility, and outright disdain towards Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And even there, the narrative cracked, because the public has moved on. Viewers are no longer shocked by the obsession, they're bored by it. They see the repetition, they recognize the patterns, and when someone like Lulu says what they're already thinking, it lands. Lulu didn't speak emotionally, she spoke analytically, she spoke economically, she spoke structurally. She explained in plain language how the British media has become Meghan's unpaid marketing team. Every negative headline increases curiosity. Every rant sends people to Google. Every meltdown drives engagement. That's not failure, that's influence. And the reason this makes the British media so uncomfortable is because they've lost control of the outcome. They can no longer shape how the audience receives Meghan. They can only respond to her continued relevance. They are no longer narrators, they are responders. Meanwhile, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, doesn't even have to appear. She doesn't need to defend herself. She doesn't need to issue statements. She doesn't need to sit in studios and justify her existence. She lives her life, and the media chases her shadow. That's the power imbalance they refuse to acknowledge. They want her to need them. She doesn't. They want her to respond to them. She doesn't. And moments like this, moments where the truth slips out between segments, are proof. Proof that the media narrative is cracking. Proof that the obsession is visible. Proof that the audience isn't buying the outrage anymore. Lulu laughed because she already knew the answer. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has won. She won the moment the media couldn't stop talking about her. She won the moment her name became currency. She won the moment her success stopped depending on their approval. And the British media, they're still stuck pretending this is a debate. It's not. The results are in. The numbers are clear. The laughter said it all. So yes, go girl. Because while the media keeps spinning in circles, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, keeps moving forward, unbothered, unapologetic, and undeniably winning.